Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Good afternoon. We just hit the afternoon. And you're with Rochelle at Stamping Flair. And today I've got an Easter class for you. Some fun projects, and I'm sure you will find ways that you can change it up, and you'll see that they are not just for Easter. So I hope you join me and stick around. And if you aren't able to stay for the whole class, you can watch the replay later. Let me know if you're watching with me right now, and say hi. And as well as on YouTube or replays, I love to see your comments. It's just really nice to chat with you and spend a Saturday afternoon crafting with you. So I've got some varied projects today, and how I've got this set up is that if you want the kit, you can purchase the kit or you can purchase the PDF tutorial. The closing date for the kit will be on Friday the 8th, so that's just in 6 days. So gives you a little bit of time to watch the video and decide if you like it. I will include all the cardstock, the designer series paper, envelopes as well, and you will get any die cuts that doesn't include stamping, because if you have to stamp and die cut, it's a bit tricky for me to include that. So stamped images aren't included, so you can always add your own or purchase whatever products you want. So we've got a couple of stamp sets I'm using, but actually 3. And I'm using the nested birds, the Easter lilies, and the Easter bunny one. So got some fun projects for you. Please ask me any questions as we go along, and we'll get to it. I've got some new product as well I want to show you, which I'll be using. So I'll switch the camera around and show you all this. It's going to be fun. And so the first card I'm going to create, and just, it may vary, but like, I like, how I like to switch things up a bit. We're going to make our little Easter bunny. And he's very cute. This is the stamp set, and it comes, dimensional stuck on that. It comes with a coordinating punch, which punches out this little guy. These are pretty easy to cut, and I'll be cutting that out as well. So you will see that how good it is. So you've got some Easter eggs, and it's just a really sweet stamp set. I think it's great for even like new babies and things. Now, the designer series paper I'm using here is not yet released. It will be released on the 5th of March. It's an online exclusive, and it's called a Lotta. I keep getting this mixed up. It's a coffee one. And let me tell you the exact name. I looked at it before. A Little Latte. Not a Lotta Latte, a Little Latte. So I will show you the paper. It's really pretty, and it comes with a stamp set and a die set and embellishments. So you can get the suite, the whole collection. Let's just go through one side. That's upside down. And if you like coffee or know people who like coffee, this is a fantastic set. And I'm just going through. And these sort of images, really, you don't have to use for a coffee themed project. I mean, look at this, how you can use it for anything. Like, they're just beautiful, like marble sheets. So then you've got this coffee stain look, which I think is fun. And coffee beans, some miniature coffee cups there, you can see. I love the sheet. I use it on one of our projects today. So that's just a very neutral sheet. Same with this. Coffee, it could go as like, the cakes you have. I think it could just be little hearts. So many options there. And this is the last one with the coffee beans in Calypso coral. So that's some new paper that's coming into you with lots of other online exclusive products which are available on the 5th of March. Now, so I'll show you them separately, but for today, we're going to, for this particular card, I'm going to be using this guy. Now, he doesn't have a matching punch, but we're going to fussy cut it. I have pre-done a fair bit, and this is what you'll get in your kit, so you have some idea what will include it. Now just bear with me while I get all my little pieces together. So we're going to stamp it in pecan pie, and I've got some petal pink as well, and I'm also going to do a bit of stamping blend, coloring with stamping blends today. So, and he should stamp on that. Oops. Put my finger straight in the ink pad. I did that yesterday with Night of Navy. Now that's an annoying color, strong color. I like the color, so just when I misuse it and get it elsewhere. Okay, so we're going to add some blending on this with, I'll just bring some scrap, with some petal pink and crumb cake. So I'm going to get my blends. So our stamping blends are alcohol markers with the petal pink and crumb cake. Okay. So all I'm going to do is add some shading on just like the bunny's mouth, and that's all for now. Just its tail, like where the shadow is. Then I will bring my petal pink, and I'm gonna give you a quick way to color this bunny. And so again, just adding a bit of color there, and I'll go in just on the, basically where you can see some lines and things. So now I'm with light crumb cake, so I've just very lightly done that. All right, so we are done with that. We're going to fussy cut this. They are really cute images. You can do nice little gift cards as well if you wanted to, for Easter place settings with the different bunnies. There would be so much fun. And I'll also be doing those carrots, wrong season, carols. The stamping blends come in a pack of 2, and you get a light and a dark color in whatever shade you buy, or whatever color you buy. You get a light shade and a dark shade. So just use your scraps for things like this. It's a good little way to use up scrap. Right, so Now what I'm doing is I'm going to get my just a blending brush and we're gonna go with just my Petal Pink ink pad and just do a all over kind of color, and that's just a quick way to add some color to this bunny. Now if you had to do like heaps and you were wanting to do gift tags or place settings and you've got lots of people coming for Easter, just do it like that. Just do a little bit of highlight with your stamping blends and then just blending brush over and you've got a quickly colored bunny. Sometimes we want to spend lots of time on a project, other times you may not have that time. And like holidays, seasons and things are just, we always want a quick project. So now I am going to stamp my carrots. I thought it really went well with that paper. So we'll stamp our carrots in Pecan Pie. I wanted doing two. I know the rule of the do threes, but I just felt the two was fine against that with the bunny as the main. So you've got the bunny and the two carrots. So that's how sometimes I work. For the coloring of the carrot, I've got pumpkin pie and Calypso coral. Also old olive for the leafy part. You wouldn't need it all, but like I just started off light. So and it was a fairly quick job I did. Then we'll go with the dark Calypso. We'll go with the light pumpkin pie and color, oops, color all over. If I can get this open, yeah. And just blend that in circular motion or circular strokes to that. And then I'm gonna add it to that corner as well so it nicely blends. And then I'm gonna be dark pumpkin pie. And again, I'm taking it to that top. Oh, there's quite a bit of color there. And I'm gonna go with the light a bit at the bottom, the light pumpkin pie. And just see what colors you like. So now for the leaves. Old olive, light old olive. I'll just do a full covering of the leaves. And yeah, these have to be fussy cut, but it's worth the effort because it gives you that just a little bit detail. I mean, you can skip this bit. I just felt the sentiment needed that little bit of just an embellishing. Let me bring that in for you. Again, at the back leaf, I'm just adding a bit of dark old olive. And you can blend it in back in with the light old olive. And you can, I can see on my page, I mean, it's not always the case, but I can see on this particular color, the wetness, so it's blending. So a little bit of fussy cutting. The leaf's probably the one that takes a little bit longer. What are our plans for Saturday? We've got a beautiful day here today. It's just nice. It's sunny. I don't know what the temperature is going to be. I haven't had a chance to look, but it feels like it's just a nice temperature, not too hot. I don't really do well I don't really like too much heat. Unless if I'm indoors, it's okay, but it's just not conducive for me. All right, so we've got a little carrot. We'll do another one. And we're going to use be doing some die cutting later as well. So, yeah, I played with the Easter lily set for the first time. It is gorgeous. You can stamp and create your flowers, or you can die cut them. They create some beautiful flowers. Okay, that little bit, let's get rid of that there. I'm actually going to share this, and I forgot to share it on my group page. I should. Give me a second. So when you're on a group, you tend to see any posts if people want to come up. Sometimes on Facebook, I find things might get lost. There's so much that comes up, doesn't it? And thank you for the shares. Appreciate it. All right. Trying to get that teeny weeny bit there. Okay, you don't have to be so pedantic, but and if you wanted to not do the fussy cutting, die cut a circle or punch out a circle, just stamp the bunny and the carrots, and that'll be fine too. So we have got a Lost Lagoon card base. Let me pull that back. Lost Lagoon card base. A Calypso coral mat, and then this is that little latte designer series paper. I think it's like very Eastery colors. These are die cut from Lost Lagoon using the Scallop Contours dies. So, are you a bit crooked there? Yes, you are. All right, so we are going to stick this bunny here. And I've also got a little strip of designer series paper. This is the Subtles range of designer series paper, which come in a 6x6 pack. You get it in all our color palettes. So you get it in the brights, the neutrals, subtles and regals, plus you get the in colors separate packs. So that's a good little pack to have. Now, in my original card, I had stuck down the scallop contour, and I think I'm going to stick that down again. I was just going to see whether I wanted to mount it at dimensionals, but yeah, there was a reason I did that. So this is like at an angle. So now we put this guy here, but if you wanted to just punch out a circle or another square and stamp it directly, then you have no fussy cutting to do. So I used the hard side because I just thought Easter. I'm going to glue this onto here. That went a little bit close to the edge. And make sure, you know how I always make sure that I'm on the right side. And yesterday I was making a card and it was like the other way. I was rushing and I had done it all, and then I realized it was the wrong way. Then I used my glue gun and heat gun, and it was fine to get it off. All right, so we will put this just like that. Our bunny's gonna stick here. And I'm gonna cut that. So now I've got the Happy Easter. That's one piece, okay? That's the sentiment. But I have cut mine in half because somewhere along the track I wanted it assembled differently. So I'm going to put this back together. And it goes back easy. But so that's my 2 halves. So it's just one cut in the middle to make it simple. So by doing that, it gave me more opportunities to use that sentiment. I'm going to test it that I've got it 100% straight. Yes, so I'm using Lost Lagoon, stamping this on a little bit of like scrap. And then we can just cut it down. I'll provide all this for you, so then you'll get all the cardstock in your kit. So I've got the links to purchase up there, down there. Put some dimensional so we can pop that up. And we'll just overlap that a little bit and move it, just shift it a bit with a bit of a gap there. Now our bunny, putting some on his ear, just on the little ends, like the tail ears, they're likely to get bent. It just supports it a little bit. And then he's sitting there. Mini dimensionals for our carrots, and all I've done is add it on the leaf. You can make smaller by cutting your other dimensionals if you wanted to, and then have it. And I might just add a little bit on the carrot itself, and I just want a little strip, actually a little bit bigger than that. So we've got that done. The only thing I haven't added is embellishments, and I will. I actually realized I don't think I even used ribbons on my cards, and I just sort of fell in such a way that I didn't. Maybe the design. Nothing's stopping you from doing ribbons, and that's very unusual for me not to use a ribbon. That's cute. Let's put some embellishments on that. What do you think? Do you like that little bunny? You're cute. I sorted my embellishments the other day. I'm a bit excited. It was a jolly mess. It goes like that sometimes. I don't know if you find that. It just happens to be everywhere. We've got our little orangey ones there. I like having a browse through. I pack them in just little cellophane bags, so if they do come out, they are inside the bag. You've got those. That sort of matches the little yellow. I need to get more of those little flowers would look cute too. See, I'm thinking out loud. Maybe not. So you find that sometimes picking embellishment can be the trickiest, or placing it. All right, so maybe the yellow to go with that. So we've got a lot of orange going on. These are take your pick tool. And here, a little one. These are the ones that came with the daisies with the adhesive backed solid gems. And a little one there. Yeah, that's it. Alright, our card is done. On the inside, I will show you, I will go through that. Sometimes I like to, I'm going to put a piece of white cardstock, and I might stamp the carrot, and we can color it, and we can do the same with the emulate. Just something a little bit. You can even use the designer series paper still on the back. So just a quick little color. And I just pulled out a few. And I know it takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. I'm just going to do a fairly quick coloring of this. Calypso coral comes up good for carrots as well. Like, I mixed it up, but it would on its own, if you just wanted a quick color, looks fine. Let's do a light pumpkin pie on the side just for some shading. Just makes it a little more orangey. And we'll leave it at that. All right. Now, I want to get my, just taking the crease off the edge where I've cut it, because and I'll put that on the inside. So that's our first card done. You like the bunny? Hi Jenny, lovely to see you here. We're having a good Saturday. We'll put our stamps back and then we'll get on to our next project. I will need my Happy Easter for another card. So I'll leave him on the side here. So my next card will be the nested birds. I'm using that. I know it's not actually Easter, but I think the style of the stamp set and the eggs in there, you know, it can sort of, it's suitable. And you can make anything Easter really. You just have to just put the correct sentiment and that's fine. And this card too, if you don't want the carrots, just even you can make a baby card. I think that would be nice. So for our next card. So this is the card I've got planned. This is the nested birds. The nested birds is in the online section, online exclusive section of our store. You will not find it in a catalog. It used to be in a catalog, but it's not. So it's now an online exclusive. So I will get something to stamp on. We have a few images to stamp and color, and we'll get that done. So this is the nested birds. So I've just gone with the eye, sort of showing you that you can use other things for Easter. You can mix and match your stamps. I love this nest, it's so sweet. We're going to be using the little bird. And we've got the eggs, they're just die cut. Should have kept these seeds on this as well. Okay, so we're going to stamp the nest in Pebble Path. And I'll stamp the bird in Pebble Path too. And you don't have to use the colors I'm using. You can just use whatever you've got. Not necessary to, if you don't have them, that's fine. Just use what you've got. For this, my original image, I started with watercolor pencils and then I went with some blending pens, and I'm not stamping blends, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do at the moment. So I think my head is telling me to go with crumb cake stamping blends instead of the watercolor pencils, because I wasn't. Sometimes you're not sure what looks good, and you've got to try things. So, and then again, I'm sort of trying to stick with similar greens and things. So if you have to purchase anything, you're not, how do I say, having to have too many things to buy. So because it makes it a little bit hard sometimes. Spread the purchases. So I'm using light old olive. This is where I may like change to the original. Sometimes good to try something. Okay, I'll bring that in. If you have trouble like seeing on the stamped image, just pull out your stamp case, and that always helps. It helps me when I go, okay, what was this? Is it this? Is it that? Is it a leaf? Is it a twig? Is it, what is it? Just using the image on the stamp set, it gives a bit of clarity. And you don't really even need to color that nest. It's looking really nice. When you just do the leaves, it just adds a bit of highlighting. Like that, just lines. And I did this in brown on my original card, the stems, but I'm gonna go with green because I figure we have brown everywhere else. But grey. Now I'm gonna bring in boho blue, like boho blue, just for the little sort of berries there. So I'll start with there's a little bit of a tiny leaf there. Probably just need a dot. So my crumb cake is going, oh, pretty much gone. But sometimes I like that uneven. I use the brush for specific purposes when they're sort of on the verge of dying, because it gives you a more softer look, and I like that where the brush is not, it's a bit fragmented. I was going to say frazzled. I don't think it's frazzled. So I'm not going individual, I'm giving it a very rough, so I'm picking some of those little twigs or branches and going with it. Definitely not doing each one. I'm going to bring in dark crumb cake. Just add a bit of shading right here, because you're going to get it darker here. And the stamp itself is giving you that shading. And I'll blend that out. And bring it in a little bit. You don't have to do the whole thing, but so bring it close so you can see. I'm not really, it's not exact. Hi Brenton, lovely to see you. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Next, I felt it would, because it was Easter, I had to put some pink in it. That was just my brain. So I bought bubble bath in to color the bird, and I added some old olive soy blends in with the leaves, and sort of you get the tonal thing going on. And for the beak, what did I use? Oh, I did use one of these, the neutrals, natural tone ones, but you just use what you've got. So light bubble bath, and it worked. Now if you don't like pink, don't use it. use something else. Calypso coral would go. It's just something. I didn't want to do a blue bird. Blue is beautiful, the bullhorn blue. I've done this bird in bullhorn blue. It comes up really nice. I just felt it was like a little bit too much blue happening. And then I'm using my brush tip. This is light bubble bath. And okay, now I'm going to bring in just a light old olive, and just for a hint of the green, where you'd get some darker patches on the bird. And I just felt the blend was then it coordinates a bit better with the rest of my project. Can't wait to see you guys at on stage. Oh, the countdown's on. On stage is a Stampin' Up event, which is on the 14th to the 16th of March. I have no idea what type of bird it is. I've done it like I think I've done a red one as well. It just whatever my fancy, but I really have no idea. Someone's sure to know, more knowledgeable than me on my bird life. I know we waited and waited. It's going to be fun. Yes, it's an event for demonstrators, and you opt to enter. Yeah, to register. And yeah, some of us are going, and that'll be nice. Last time we had in person was in Sydney. Yeah. I'm good today. I'm remembering to put the camera back in its original position. Sometimes I forget. As I say that, I'll probably forget the next time. So you've got a die to cut that. We've got a die for the bird. But sometimes, I'll be honest, with this bird, I just fussy cut it because because I'm lazy, and yeah, work that out. Do you think the die cutting would be easier? I just can't be bothered walking to my die cutting machine, so I just fussy cut it. And I'm just holding it in place with some washi. You can use post-it notes, whatever you use. I know some people die cut first before coloring, because if you do go askew, then it's like your coloring hasn't gone to waste, which is a good idea as well. I just find it easier to color when I've got a bit of something to hold on to. That's why I do it like this. Oh, was it? Yes, Sydney was first in person. That was a good event. And then we are going to, so you've got a die for the little eggs. It's one die, but it cuts them separately. So that way it's easy. I'll bring in my die cutting machine. And when I made these projects, I said I hadn't used ribbon on any of them, which is really weird for me. I also had not used an embossing folder, which is even more weird. I always use embossing folders. I don't know, something clearly was wrong with me. I'm branching out. And with the nest, if it moves even, it's not a big deal. I'm one for just going with it. The eggs are moving. Maybe I'll put them there to be sure. Like if your die moves and like unless it's like a specific, not like shape, no one really knows what it was meant to be like. Just fussy cut around it and don't stress it. So we got our 3 eggs. We've got our nest and the bird. You color before die cutting, Brendan? Yeah, it's just that I feel you get a bit of a, it's easier to manage and you've got something to hold on to and just gives you a bit more grip and perhaps some more blend, like easier to blend as well. Put my dies away before I lose them. Right. Now the eggs are the ones that go missing because they're small. Now I've gone ahead and I'm going to color these eggs. Yes. If you want to do a quick job, use blending brushes. If you want to do a quicker job, just die cut them from cardstock, colored cardstock. That's just some tips. I'm using Balmy Blue and Boho Blue to color my eggs. So, because I like to give that shading to them, so that's why I'm doing that. But you can simplify your job by just cutting it out of colored cardstock. I'm looking for my dark Balmy Blue. Yeah, there we are. Okay. So start off with just coloring the whole thing in light Balmy Blue. And I know it seems like a bit of a pain to go through on each individual egg, but it adds something when you do it like this. I tend to focus on each element of my card and it just makes it that much more special. Now I'm bringing my dark Balmy Blue. So I'm probably going with the more, the wider end, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of hard to tell. Just go with, so to bring it up like that. Like that, huh? And then this is light Boho Blue. I'm using my brush tip, it just gives a bit of easier blend. And just on the edge. So it's a little bit of an ombre sort of look. And as it dries, it'll settle with alcohol markers. And now I'm going back with my light Balmy Blue just to blend those colors up. And I will go over that Boho Blue. It'll just drag the color in and give you a better blend. It just gives you a bit of a nice, I don't know, Easter eggs. They are now. Your other option, you could, if this is like fiddly, you could color a whole sheet, like or a scrap of cardstock, and then die cut out of that. So color that ombre look, and then die cut the eggs out of that. That would be fine too. Just do what you find easy. All right, So we've got a ball blue card base. I've got a matte layer in white. So that's 10 by 14.3. Another boho blue layer, so 9.5 by 13.8. I've got a piece of this Poetic Expressions Designer Series paper, which I'm going to stick at the bottom here. I've also got a piece of just a strip of Mossy Meadow, because I'm just picking up on that color underneath. So in your kit, when you purchase, you'll get all these bits and pieces. Now use whatever size piece you've got. If you've got a tiny strip of Mossy Meadow, that's fine. Just this is a great way to use up your cardstock strips. It's like adding ribbon, but so in lieu of a ribbon, I'm just adding a matte layer of and it gets rid of your cardstock, because we've all got those bits when we do matte layers on when we cut them. We get that tiny 1 centimeter strip which you don't know what to do with, and most of the time it ends up in the bin. But I keep some of them. I don't keep all of them. And it just, I feel it finishes it off when you have something like that. So we're just going to stick that round down there. You can emboss this layer if you want. I normally would have. I didn't feel it needed it this time. So, and this is what I'm going to pull that up, because I forgot to do one thing. Because real Rochelle style, always forget something. Okay, so I have die cut a deco circle, and it's just partial because I don't need it all. So it's one of the larger ones, and I am going to blend some balmy blue just around it. Start off the page of the piece you're working on. And go in. And again, I've done this just for some interest. That piece can be embossed. I'm offering you some options, what you can do, different things. And I'm going to tuck that in under there. Now we can put our die cut elements on. You may need a few. This is a larger die cut, but 4 would do. If you wanted to stick little bits, you can. I don't think it's necessary. And I'm pushing it a little bit just for interest to the left. Not much, just a bit. I'll add a few stamping dimensionals. So if you don't know, these just pop your images up. So give you some dimension. If you have never used them, if you haven't and you start, you'll never stop. They're on every order for me. And then I'm just adding the bird to the left because I did want that little blue to be visible as well. Now one little dimensional on all the eggs. No, on 2 eggs. We'll stick one down so you get that varied heights. And then we'll put dimensionals on these 2 guys. This is a cute little stamp set and like dies. I've got a lot of use out of this nested birds. And I've said before, I didn't buy it at the start. I wasn't sure about it. And it's one of those sets like I've used so much. And just overlap. For the sentiment, I'm going to use that same Happy Easter, but this time in its deconstructed state. I've got a Nested Essentials, one of the dies from that, which I'm using. And I went with Tuxedo Black on my original card, just to make it a bit darker for the sentiment. It's really easy to get in a right royal mess when you're creating, isn't it? Alright. You put things everywhere. I don't know, that's me. So I'm going to do this happy first, because if you put them like I've tried this, you can try it. If you put them one on top of the other, the gap is it feels too much. You can stamp it at the same time, but I felt it was just a bit too much width or between. So go with happy. And here you can, like, even if you wanted to, because we've cut it apart, you can use different colors as well. So that's why I say it gives you some options where you can, if you need to, just go ahead and cut your stamps. It's scary at the first couple of times, but then you go whatever. So that's just a nice simple sentiment. And again, this doesn't have to be Easter. If you are not into giving cards at Easter or don't celebrate, you can. This can be a birthday card. This can be a baby or a get well. It will make a really good get well card. Birds are just calming. Okay. So just a couple of bits or whatever you've got there. And I just went with something straight sort of lines, and because there was the nest is a different shape and the bird is a different shape, and sometimes I try to keep it simpler, the sentiment. And then we're just going to glue this on to our white mat and onto Boho Blue. I did think of an old olive card base. I felt that was, we can test it. You let me know what you think. I just felt the Boho Blue kind of tied it better. together. So that's the old olive, which comes up really nice too because it draws on the leaves. And this is the boho blue. And I just felt there was a bit of continuity there. That's why I picked that one. It just depends what your mood you're in when you create. One day it might be old olive. So for the envelope, I am going to use the designer series paper. Actually, this suite, I haven't got the rest of it, but the Poetic Expressions has some nice frames by memory, and it also has a bird in it. Pretty sure. So is, if you've got designer series paper, or you can emboss some cardstock or whatever you use on this, you can emboss the envelope flap. And just glue it onto your paper so that ties in. Sorry, I had that real close. I just scream at me when I do that, because I'm in my mode of creating and then I'm not really looking at this, how close it is. So this side is Moody Mauve. It's nice paper actually, because I hadn't like really looked at it, and then I saw it at someone's house, like when I went for some get together, and it was nice. It's got some pretty colors and things. It's got boho blue. All right, let's cut a strip for the inside of our card, and again I'm just matching it up, approx 3 centimeters, 2 centimeters, whatever you've got, use it. Sometimes if you have 2 little strips, you can just lay them side by side as well. That's the good way to get rid of those teeny weeny ones, which we feel too bad to throw because they're so pretty. Or I add it on a piece of cardstock so it's matted. Right, so we can use the same embellishments. So that's the card. I haven't actually used this lately, so they're getting a workout today. I'm not sure. So the putting of the dots takes the longest. I'll just put it there because that's fine. All right, that's the second one done. Our next one isn't a card, it's like a quick project, but I just thought I'll share it with you because Easter, you're giving Easter eggs and treats and whatnot, and it's a nice little easy project with a bit of extras, Rochelle extras. putting away my stamps, and I'll be a sec. Here we are. Yeah, so Nested Friends, it's not a bundle anymore. It's not sold as a bundle, but you can get it online. Just or contact me, whatever you prefer. So the next is just using one of our little pillow boxes, square pillow boxes, and it's a super easy project. Which you can make it not so, like, I've added extras, but you don't have to. So it's just a little treat box, and I've again used that Easter Bunny stamp set, and this just assembles super easy. It would fit a fair bit of little Easter eggs in there. I didn't test it with a big one, but with a try. So you've got it's got sort of a shiny side, and then it's got a matte side. Keep that in mind, because you want to add your color to the matte side. The other one side will be just it'll be glossy and may not stick. And plus that is the inside. Where the food, it's food safe, so yeah. Right, so I'm going to use Lemon Lolly. I went with a nice Eastery color. And just going to blend that color over the area there. And it's the you could spritz, add your refills into a spritzer and spritz it, because it's thick cardstock, it's going to take it. But I'm adding just a background color to make it a little bit more interesting, I guess, instead of white. So these are going to be your little side areas. Lemon Lolly is a pretty color. Okay, so I've done just the basic job. I'm bringing in one of our masks. This is the 4 square decorating mask, I had to think. Yes, so use it, whatever mask you've got. It's just adding some texture to it. So I'm placing it in the center. It's very rough. And I'm going fairly hard because, again, I'm going with Lemon Lolly, but I want that masking to stick. And it's going to be a bit tricky if I lift it and not see it, but that's just adds just something. Trust me, once you decorate it, it's not going to be an issue if you have missed sections, whatever. So you've got score lines here. Sort of go. I just maneuver it a bit just to help it along. It's done for you. For an instance, I thought I did it on my coloring on the wrong side. You'll know anyway. I mean, you can do it. I guess you can. Either way, I just found it easier this way. Right. Because of my color. So just remove one. It's nice and easy. I haven't used this. We got this in On Stage Online. We did the B suite. It's part of the B suite. So that side's done. So they're nice, quick little, again, you can, for like the Easter table or whatever, like if it's kids' parties, would make ideal little, you know, loot boxes, or with lollies, something different. Okay, so that falls in. Now this has no glue, but you can add glue. I didn't, because my little belly band was holding it together. So yeah, there's quite a bit of space there. So that's a little box done. How cute is that? Now again, I'm going to be using this coffee paper. And basically I'm using it like, it'll hold that together. And fairly tight. So wrapping, it's a 12, this was 3 centimeters, I think, or 4, sorry. And I just took the whole 12-inch strip, but I'll cut it down. And just sort of press it down where the edges are. You want it fairly firm so it's not going to come off. Use the lines as a guide. Just add glue to the overlapping portion. So that's done. We'll stamp our little bunny. I'm using a piercing mat because the bunny is photopolymer stamp. So to make this really quick, I've used the bunny which has the punch, the coordinating punch, so that'll make it extra quick if you want some quick treat boxes. We'll stick with pecan pie. Use whatever brown or color you have. And we'll color it in petal pink and again crumb cake. I'll use the 2 colors together. Got some brand new replacement markers because my markers have been so well used. So petal pink's new. Nice to have some new markers. I give the other ones to my daughter so she's an adult. I just give, she's not a child, but she loves coloring. So during celebration I was able to get 2 packs of those markers, so she got 1 of the core colors. All the retired colors end up with her stash. Okay, so this is just light petal pink. I've basically like texture colored it right round. Nothing strenuous, and I've left that a little bit white, which I didn't do in my original, and it didn't make a huge difference. I'm going with dark petal pink. Okay, just adding some little details. I'll just bring my camera in. See that. I'll go in with my light crumb cake. Now this is where my crumb cake is a bit dodgy because it needs a new thing, but I'm happy with this because I like that for this particular purpose, I don't mind that effect it's giving with that wide fan look. I need to replace this, but it's just giving me like that fur sort of look, and this is what I like using those old markers for. There's a purpose, you know. Crafters don't get rid of things. This is one of them. So now it just adds a bit of interest. And this guy's a bit different to what I've colored before, and you'll find that when you color. I'll go back in with my light petal pink just to blend that all in. And with stamping blends, if you add a second layer, same with stamping art markers, add a second layer, it's gonna become a little bit darker. All right. We'll get our bunny punch. We'll punch him out. So just hold your punch down halfway, that locks it in. And then it's ready. What I did do is prior I die cut using the garden meadow dies, one of the grass patches. So you can, the tufts of grass, you can use either side. You kind of get 2 for 1 with that. And I'm sure if you don't have this, you can use something else you have in your stash. I'm sure we all have some sort of grassy bit in the... I tried to use the grass from was it this? Yes. But it didn't really... It works on a stamp, like a die cut circle, but when I went to fussy cut it, it was not looking how I wanted it. So I preferred sort of this. So I'm going to blend some greens on this. I'm using Parakeet Party, and it's not and Lost Lagoon, which is blue, but it works well like on a leafy as a green option. It's like sort of my mint macaron replacement. So Parakeet Party will be retiring next month. It's part of our 2022-2024 in colors. I didn't like it at start. I've kind of grown to like it, and I use it quite a bit. So just doing it automatically, it's easy to get that top layer darker because it's giving you that, the die cut does that anyway. Now I'm bringing in Lost Lagoon. Just adding a bit of blending at the bottom. I won't need this entire strip. I'll be cutting it up, but it just adds, because a shaded spruce was just a touch too dark, I felt, and this kind of blended in better. So we've got a little bunny. This is for our sentiment. I've die cut from Perennial Postage dies, just a square from the Delightfully Eclectic designer series paper. I'm just going to place that because I like my layers. I'm going to place it just on an angle. And you only need it on like one side. If you don't want to stick it onto the box and you just want to stick it on the belly band, you can do that. And it just added a nice bit of color. Now for this, I want to do, I cut it in half, which is quite often, which is how I've been using this set. So I'll get rid of that stark edge there. I'm going to put one on the other side. I don't want all this long bit. I flush on against the belly band. We'll glue that piece. I don't need all of it, I think. Just a little bit. Just adds a little bit, like that square reminds me, like it's like the sun. That's not what I had in mind, but when I did it, just felt like it was. And then this one I'm going to put at an angle, just so it sticks behind the bunny. And I think, get rid of that one. Just a bit of glue and now I can mount that with dimensionals. And you can leave the sentiment or have it opt out, like without it. If you don't like the sentiment, I just thought if you're putting Easter eggs, that's a pretty sweet sentiment to put on. This is crushed curry, and we will stamp Easter treat for you. We can and I'm just using tuxedo black for this. Lost Lagoon would look nice too. Again, this is a scrap I had. Trying not to get too strong because the 4U was coming really heavy. But that's fine. So just cut it on either side, and and two dimensionals on it. I'll put it in the center, and he'll kind of stick on the bunny so it's not on two different levels, I should say. Yeah, that's our bunny treat box done. A very quick project. I will, in your kit you will get the treat box. I will include that and all the papers and things like that, so you will get all that. What do you think? I hadn't set up the treat. I hadn't used the treat box before. I kind of tried it, and I was pretty happy with it. Sometimes because I generally, you know, I am always card making and just might have to put some treats in these. The next one we have, next card, is the Easter lilies. This, I just love it, and I think you will too. And you'll see what I mean by the flowers. I haven't done the 3D too much in the sense of making it from the die cuts, but I did stamp a fair bit, and we did some coloring, and it comes up pretty nice. So Easter lilies, this was actually my first play with it because I only got it this week. So it's got some nice scripture sentiments, and the lilies themselves are just beautiful, and I like that palm, really nice. That die cuts, but then you can create the flowers separately. So it's got these beautiful leaves which you die cut. I want to get them, like, do a session where I show you what they do. So these can die cut separately. It doesn't belong to any stamps, and same with those flowers, so you can assemble the flowers really nicely. So some options there. So this is the card we're making. It's got a little bit of stamping and a little bit of coloring. So, and yes, I went with pink now. We could just stick with some Easter colors. Some traditional pastels and things. So we've got the palm or the fern. We've got this image. I'll just mount all the stamps and we'll have them ready to go. We've got this guy. I'm looking forward to playing with this a bit more because I think we can get some nice effects. And we've got one more. This one. So we will have some die cutting, but I couldn't really die cut this before because you have to kind of stamp it and die cut it at the same time. So the lilies I'll be stamping in Tuxedo Black, and the leaves I will stamp in Old Olive. Again, I'm going to be using a piercing mat for cushioning. So I'm first going to stamp, oh, I just said Old Olive, didn't I? No, I'm thinking of saving space, but that's okay. We'll stamp our little flowers. There's a lot of bits and pieces in this one. So those are the elements for the floral side, and I'll get a piece of cardstock for stamping our leaves, because then we can do all our die cutting together. So for the leaves, I am using Old Olive to stamp, and then we'll color it with stamping blends. And again, if you want to make this a bit quicker, just stamp the leaves on a colored cardstock. Then all you have to do is, you don't have to color it. And then you can even add some blending using a blending brush, which is quicker than coloring with blends. My Old Olive is a bit juicy, but that's okay. It is a leaf. That could have been a better stamp, but I'm going to leave it and I can color it in and do that. One thing to remember, if you don't get a good stamp and you're going to blend, don't stamp on the back, because when you use stamping blends, it comes through, the color comes through. And then you see the image that was stamped on the other side, your image that you didn't want to use, it'll come through. So I'm using Bubble Bath, and this is Daffodil Delight. I think I said I used lemon. Oh yeah, I used lemon on the other one. So I'm using Daffodil Delight. So it's very Eastery. For the leaves, I will be using Soft Sea Foam, a bit of Old Olive, and some Lost Lagoon. And again, I just went with very simple coloring on the inside here, starting off with some light Daffodil Delight. And we'll use the other side because my brush is cactus. So just do like simple strokes like that. It's going to fill in your image. And I have left a fair bit of white space on these leaves, on the petals. So I'll go in with a bit of the dark, just because I think my light is a little bit it's run out, and so it's not giving me depth. So follow those lines, it's gonna give you a bit of movement in your petals. Now with coloring, you know, you can spend as much or little time as you like. You can fuss. Or what I like with our stamping blends is you don't have to spend heaps of time. It's not a hard coloring system. It's two tones and that's it, and you're just easy. So now I'm blending that darker Daffodil Delight into the rest of the flower. I'll bring in some light Bubble Bath, and just on the centers that I've mixing those colors in, and it gives you some nice shading. Now in the dies you get stamens, which you could add, but it's got the stamens here, but if you wanted to add like more dimension, you can do that. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. I know everyone's time is valuable, and it's nice that you can have a bit of crafting, relaxing time. So I'm taking my light old olive, and I'm going to start coloring like leaves and the greenery part. On these, I'm going on one side. I'm gonna bring in light Lost Lagoon. I'm sticking with these two, with the lights. With the soft sea foam, I'll go the dark. And on the base, I'm just bringing this in. It's going to give you a different tone. Still got that warmth in it, but with the old olive, but gives you basically another color. Now, dark soft sea foam to you probably can see that color blending while it'll move it. So seems like a lot of work, but it gives you that nice shading with 3 colors. And if you don't have the time, or it's not something you like to do, just use old olive, and that'll be fine, whatever you like. Now we're going to do our leaves in the same sort of way. This is why I didn't fuss too much, because you can't really, my stamping was a bit off, but as I color it, it's gonna amend that. So on the base, again, light old olive. I'll work on this leaf first, then I'll bring light Lost Lagoon. Just sort of, I'm overlapping colors. And I'm not spending a lot of time. You can see I'm being quite rough and not exact, but you take your time. It always gives better results, but I think works good. Now we go with our dark soft sea foam, and here's where I'm blending that color in. I love this leaf. It's nice and large, and like you could have it in the center of your card and just have that. You don't even need any flowers. One of the leaves would be nice. That's what I envisaged, like when I first got this set. But I thought, oh, I can't do my first card and not, it's a Easter lilies, and not use the lilies. And just leave it. I can feel the difference, like these are new. You can see it wet on the, as I'm blending it, so you know the color is blending. And leave it to dry a bit, and it'll merge or blend, and then add some more color if you want. So you need to be a little bit patient with the stamping blends. So I'm doing the same thing on this one, and I just worked with the other colors, other side first, so that it's better to do it while it's, if you can, while the color is still damp. Not always possible, I realize that, and I don't either. Sometimes practically we might get called away or we'll do something else, and you can even go over, like I'm doing now, on the stamped part where you can see that old olive. So this is Lost Lagoon. And now we'll color with, I'm using dark. You can use a mix of light and dark, soft sea foam. Done. Squeak. That's all you need. All right, all our images are done. So we've got our bits and pieces, and we can die cut them. And I'll set this aside for now. Lots and lots of dies. Say this. I'm going to attempt to do it all at once and pray that they don't move. No, they should be fine. I did it before. So we need this, 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 and this. So those are the stamens I was talking about before. Let's work for your large dies. I like how that combination of the greens comes out, because I must be the only person who's not an old olive fan. I'm in the minority there. It's okay, but not my fave. Just gonna add another piece there. And isn't it pretty? The stamp set is so nice. Okay, so those can go together, and we'll die cut that. And they drop it and they all move. Oh goodness. I've secured it well, so hopefully. Sorry, I'm really close there. Apologies. Let's see. I'm gonna keep the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here because we'll cut our leaves now. He does not want to come off. He's stuck to the washi. So that's the image. That's the next one. and the buds and the leaf. All done. All right, we'll set that aside. Now for our leaves. Thanks, Jenny. It is a pretty stamp. It is a pretty bundle, and I think sometimes we there's so much to in that catalog. We can miss certain things as well, or till someone shows you the paper or something like that. Sometimes it's very easy to miss things. There's lots of good things to tempt us. And you don't have to have white or yellow or pink lilies. I mean, just do whatever color you want. You're being creative, so it doesn't matter what color you want to do it in. As I say, this is imagination. You can have I don't know, is there a blue lily? You can make a blue lily. It doesn't have to be real. So I'm a little bit off there, but it'll suffice. If I wanted to, I can always move it, but I'm going to leave it and go with it. Can blend color on it to cover up that, but in the long run, I don't think it is visible. Unless I get one of you guys. Give it to one of you and you got Rochelle's die cut that wrong. And no one notices. Like in a card, I think the overwhelm is when someone actually receives the card. They're just glad to receive a nice card. A handmade card, someone thought of them. Even to get any card really is nice, because how many people don't send cards? And then if it's handmade, it's even better. But it's so much nicer. Okay, so that's the next one. So that's a better, you can see I've just a bit shifted to the right of that, but it'll pass. You get to know me, I'm just a bit of a, we'll go with it. Make do. Alright, so we've got a piece of basic white for where all this is going to sit on. I'm going to just, I saw a bit of black, probably because I've got black on my fingers. Oh, I could use it on that side. I'm just thinking. Alright, so I'm going to bring in my scoreboard now, just to add some detail to this. Now, when you purchase a scoreboard, you're going to get this. The main base comes with the scoring tool and this, right? But it's in inches. So when you purchase a scoring board, it'll come just with the inches. If you want centimeters, you need to purchase the extra bits separately. I'm just letting you know so that you don't go, oh, I purchased the scoreboard and it doesn't have metric. That is a separate addition. Oh, it's an additional thing. So what I'm going to do, so I want 2 lines on this side and 2 lines on this side. So I am going to shift this, and I'm just using the inches side. You can use whatever. I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. And yes, I sometimes work in inches and sometimes I work in centimeters. It's just whatever my mood is. And then at 3/4. So just 2 lines. I'm giving a bit of a gap and 2 close together. Can you see that? I don't know. It's just, okay, that's a bit better. Right. So again, I'm going to shift it onto the left at 1/2 inch and just at 3/4 inch. And it's just giving me a little bit of can you see? Yeah, some detail on my background. That's all I wanted, something simple. I've done like crisscross and things before on backgrounds, and you can use a scoring board for other things, obviously, but I mean the main purpose is to score your card bases. But this is like something a bit fun. For the background, I am bringing in Bubble Bath. And just going to create like a hazy look for these flowers to sit on. Some sort of muted. And start from your where the crisscross is there, and bringing it up on both sides and gradually getting it lighter. So this part will probably be covered by the flowers, and so I just want to bring it a little bit into the open space here. So it's just a light coloring. Take our leaves and don't worry, this won't come off because because I'm naughty and I use some of my bone folders for mixing the ink pads when I put ink refills. I find it's a good, I need to keep one separate for that. I'm just giving this a curve, just a gentle one. This one's gonna go the other way because it's the bud. Again, just a light. It's not much I'm adding, but it just gives a bit of depth and movement to your project. And our leaves. Okay. So we're going to attach, like this stem works on any of these. Like, I'm going to attach it onto this, and it felt a little bit small, but like it worked in that sense. Like the flowers seem big. And just place it on there. And leave it to dry. I'm going to glue these because it's already got some like depth in the sense I've curved those leaves. So I'm going to just give this a bit of glue. Just towards the bottom. And then the other one's just going to go like that. So that's sort of setting your base for laying those flowers on. For the flowers, I'm using dimensionals. So we'll start with the big one, and I will place a dimensional directly on that join, which will secure it better. And I always say just in case. And maybe just on the stem. I didn't do it on my original card, but I think it'll be good to have that in the center, not over. You can manipulate that. So then it's sort of directional on that little square that's been formed with our scored lines. Now let's see where this is going to go, because I did change it a bit on the original. I may even stick it on the other side just for something different. Let's see. Put that there. Yeah. A couple of mini dimensionals, or cut apart your big ones. And just tuck in the stem so it's under and not so visible. So this is a teeny weeny bit different to what I did the first time around, so I've just changed it up a bit. I have chosen, I'm going with the sentiment "He is risen." We'll stamp it in black. I trimmed that little stem off so it's not just hanging under. Where's my little pink bit? Yeah, okay. I have a feeling it's not going to be right, but let's see. I felt I had that gut that I hadn't inked it up well. While that's drying, we'll glue this onto our mat of I was about to say blushing bride, bubble bath. I like blushing bride. And then I just putting it right to the end of this, so it's flush with my bubble bath border. Excuse me. Talking too much. Sorry about that. Okay. This is thick basic white, which I use for my card bases instead of the other white which we use for stamping. I mean, you can stamp on this as well. me know what you think. I'm going to get some embellishments. I think I know what I want to use. You know, those pastel ones, the pastel sequins. It's got pink and balmy blue. I think that'll go nicely with this. Not that, but that's not quite bubble bath. This one will go nicely with the pinks. I like these sequins because they've got glue on them. Otherwise, when we have glue on sequins, it's fantastic. Because then you don't have to fuss around, isn't it? Okay, so we've got one there, one there, one there. So in my triangular shape. I like those colors, how it's worked together. Now, what for the inside, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp that leaf. I think that'll be nice on, and you don't even have to really color it. You can, but it's just yeah, I might stamp it off first. I think that'll be just give you that faint sort of a watermark kind of look. Yeah. Yeah, and you don't need to color it then. And the same on the envelope. So then you've got your nice project all done. So we've got 4 projects there we've done today. I'll bring them back in so you can have a look. So this is the one we just did. We did our little treat box. Well, that was the one I made earlier. This is the one I made today. The grass was greener on this one. And it was also a bit larger, but that's that. And we can add embellishments, which I didn't do on that. But you will get in your kit whatever embellishments I've used. So that's what's included. I will send the kit via truck postage, so all that price is included in that. This was the one before. And with the nested bird stamp set. And this was our first one with the Easter Bunny. Let me know, did you have a favorite? Did any of this catch your interest that you might want to case and try out, or have you got any of these bundles that you can use for your crafting? So I've got the links there if you want to order a kit or want to order the PDF. I will have a product list as well, which I'll put up later today under this class. So if you want to order anything to go with it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. You can either comment here or you can message me privately. That's not an issue, and I would love to help you out. All right, I appreciate your time this afternoon. I hope you have a really good Saturday and a good rest of the weekend and lots of crafting in between. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll catch you on Wednesday for my Facebook Live. Bye-bye.